In 2026, the term antisocial has taken on a dual meaning in the American landscape. It describes locations where social isolation and one-person households have become the demographic norm, as well as areas where rising crime and societal division have eroded this social contract. According to 2026 reports from the APA and Census Bureau, nearly 41% of Americans now experience significant loneliness, but in these 10 specific towns and cities, the disconnect has reached a systemic peak. Here are the 8 most antisocial towns and cities in America for 2026. 1. Washington, D.C. The verdict. In 2026, Washington, D.C. holds the title of the loneliest city in America. Nearly 50% of the city's 330,000+ households are occupied by a single person, the highest rate in the nation. This solitary capital is characterized by a transient workforce and high-stress political environments that leave little room for genuine community bonding. While the city is densely populated, the apartment dweller's paradox is in full effect. Residents are surrounded by thousands of people but report the highest levels of subjective isolation. The 2026 social audit suggests that the hyper-competitive nature of DC life has replaced traditional neighborly interactions with professional networking, making true social connection a rare commodity. 2. Riverside, California. The verdict. Riverside currently leads the nation in social disconnection rates, tied with Detroit for the highest percentage of adults reporting chronic loneliness, 45.8%. In 2026, Riverside's antisocial atmosphere is driven by its commuter culture, as residents face some of the longest average commute times in the U.S. to reach Los Angeles or Orange County. They return home with social exhaustion, often retreating behind gated fences and garage doors. The city's rapid suburban sprawl has created vast residential blocks that lack central social hubs or walkable community spaces, leaving neighbors as strangers who only interact via Ring camera notifications or digital neighborhood watch apps. 3. Detroit, Michigan. The verdict. Detroit's antisocial status in 2026 is a byproduct of urban fragmentation. While the city is seeing a downtown revival, the surrounding residential neighborhoods are struggling with high rates of social isolation and a total crime rate that is nearly triple the U.S. average. In 2026, the fear of violent crime, ranking among the top 3 most dangerous cities, has led to a defensive lifestyle where residents limit their public interactions. This protective reclusion means that community spaces are often underutilized, and the social fabric is torn by economic barriers, with those earning less than $75,000 a year reporting significantly fewer real-world interactions than their more affluent neighbors. 4. St. Louis, Missouri. The verdict. In 2026, St. Louis is identified as the city with the highest loneliness rate for males in the United States. This gendered isolation is linked to the city's shifting industrial landscape and a lack of social infrastructure for single men. Additionally, the city's high crime rankings, specifically in property crime, have contributed to a culture of social guardedness. Neighbors in high-risk zones often prioritize security over social outreach, leading to a silent street phenomenon where traditional stoop-sitting and front porch culture have been replaced by high-tech home security systems. In 2026, St. Louis serves as a warning of how economic and safety anxiety can dismantle the foundations of community. 5. Alexandria, Virginia. The verdict. Alexandria is currently ranked as the #1 loneliest city for females in America. Much like its neighbor D.C., Alexandria is a hub for high-earning, single professionals. In 2026, the city's social landscape is defined by professional absorption, where work identities often supersede community roles. Despite its charming, historic Old Town appearance, the high cost of living and the career-first mindset have created a population of high-functioning isolates. Residents here are more likely to spend their evenings in front of screens than at local community gatherings, leading to a 2026 social deficit, where the prestige of the zip code masks a deep-seated lack of companionship. 6. Memphis, Tennessee. The verdict. Memphis is categorized as antisocial in 2026 due to the erosion of the social contract. With the highest violent crime rate of any major U.S. city, 2,501 incidents per 100K residents, the Bluff City has become a place where public trust is at an all-time low. When the risk of being a victim of crime is 1 in 27, social withdrawal becomes a survival strategy. Smart residents in 2026 avoid incidental social contact in public spaces, leading to the death of the third place: cafes, parks, and libraries. This climate of fear-induced isolation has turned Memphis into a city of fortified enclaves, where community interaction is strictly limited to verified social circles. 7. Salt Lake City, Utah. The verdict: Salt Lake City is a surprising 2026 entry, having climbed to become one of the top 10 most dangerous big cities in America, primarily due to an explosion in antisocial property crimes. While neighboring mountain towns like Heber City are praised for their neighborliness, the urban core of Salt Lake City has seen a surge in low-empathy crimes like burglary and larceny. This shift has triggered a community retreat among longtime residents. The 2026 social fragmentation here is characterized by a us versus them mentality, as property owners increasingly isolate themselves from the growing transient and unhoused populations, leading to a breakdown in the city's historically strong communal identity. 8. Anchorage, Alaska. The verdict: in 2026, Anchorage's antisocial label stems from its environmental and safety isolation. As the most dangerous metro area in the Pacific Northwest, Anchorage residents face high rates of violent crime combined with extreme geographic isolation. The long dark of the Alaskan winter leads to seasonal social withdrawal, but in 2026, this has become a permanent feature for many due to a lack of safe, indoor community spaces. Residents report some of the highest rates of feeling left out in the country, as the high cost of living and Arctic stress force people into solitary, survival-oriented lifestyles where the neighborly bond is often sacrificed for personal security. The antisocial landscape of 2026 is a reflection of a nation struggling with societal fragmentation. Whether it is the solitary professionalism of DC and Alexandria or the safety-induced reclusion of Memphis and Detroit, the underlying trend is a movement away from the common square and toward digital and physical enclosures. As social isolation reaches epidemic levels, these 10 cities serve as a warning. When the social contract is broken by fear, cost, or work-life imbalance, the city ceases to be a community and becomes a mere collection of high-conflict solitudes.